Johnny, we ready?
Good.
All you kids are set? Woo! All right, good. Give yourselves a hand. We're going to bring our next comic up. Our next comedian is making her way back to the stage after a short hiatus to get her shit together. Sober and sexier than ever. Her words, not mine, but I'd go with that. Dominé Spinelli.
They decided to move us right before my set. Let me show you guys what we learned in class. You ready? I can show you. Only take me a second. That was it. So if you don't laugh anymore after this performance, don't blame it on me. Blame it on what we learned. But I think that worked out pretty well, right? Hello, everybody. As you heard, my name is Dominé Spinelli. I know you probably heard it and you're like, well, where's the white girl at? Yeah. As you can tell, I have no problem getting a job interview at all until I show up. And I could be the only person in the waiting room, and they'll come out, and they'll go, Miss Spinelli? And they'll look up, like she's going to come out the sky. I'm the only one here. Hello. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Dominé. That usually works out pretty well afterwards, because they're like, well, she's already here. And, the hiring process is expensive, so you might as well hire the only person that showed up. But fun fact for them... So, okay, Spinelli, so clearly somebody's Italian, right? So my grandmother's Italian. She decided to keep the last name and pass it on to my mom. So she kind of cheated a little bit, but oh well, I got it now. So my mom, when she got married to my stepdad, she went to go hyphenate her name because we want to keep it for this fear of losing it and not being able to get hired again. So she went to get it hyphenated, and they're like, Miss Spinelli, we're going to hyphenate your name, but do you want to change your race while you're at it? And she's like, change my race? What does that have to do with getting married? Well, come to find out, back in her day in the 1960s, right, your race is according to your mother's race. So, as I said, my grandma's Italian. My mom is half black and Italian, but her mother's white, so she's white. So that makes me a white woman. It's pretty freaking sick, man. I'm like, it's really 2024. You can be whatever you want in America. I was like, I wonder why my credit was always high for so long. Like, it's very nice, y'all. And I can swim. Oh my goodness. I went on a cruise with my dad's side of the family, that's my black side of the family, and none of them could swim. And I was like, shame. All this opportunity wasted, squandered. Oh, do better. But I also knew something was up because, I was screaming Free Britney just like everybody else. All my sisters. I love to tan. And I also have this affliction for Xanax, and that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, I could be a white woman. I look for any excuse to take. As you heard him say, I took a break to get sober. It wasn't from the Xanax, though. I can't give up my roots. But I had a drinking problem. And I didn't know it until God spoke to me with my head in a toilet bowl. And he was like, Dominé. And I was like, Lord, do you sound like that? Or is it just echoing because my head's in here? He was like, get sober. This is ridiculous. And I was like, okay, Lord. And he's like, so we could be who you know you are. Did it just thunder? Yeah. Is he talking again? He's like, you better get this joke right. He's like, get sober so we can be who you know you are. And I was like, and then in my brain, I saw a red chair just come across my mind. And I said, Lord, am I Wendy Williams? I was like, that's why you gave me the titties and all this height, huh? So I went and got sober after that. I haven't had a drink in 1,169,282 minutes. So, and I noticed with sobriety, like I said, I'm counting the minutes. So it's very much like being a mom. know when new mothers are like, oh, my baby is 18 months old, and you're like, it's a year and a half, chill out. I don't say that anymore because similar to sobriety, like every single one of those minutes counts. I mean, you have to deal with the crying and the feeding all the time, the diaper changing, the chapped nipples, and I mean, that was just in rehab. I couldn't imagine what being a mom was like. I don't have any kids. Yeah. What else? Let's think. So, one thing that I learned about being sober is I don't have enough discipline. It's not the sobriety part, it's once you stop drinking, you crave sugar all the time. And I just don't have the discipline to turn down a chocolate cake. So, at 29 years old, I got my first cavity ever. And now I understand why people hate the dentist. Like, I totally get it. It's like, oh my goodness. And then they had the audacity to fill in my cavities and play Who Let the Dogs Out? And I'm like, this is, I do comedy, right? Like, this is hilarious and terrible all at the same time. I said, Lord, are you speaking again? Yeah. So they played that. But I learned that I had no discipline when I went on a cruise last week and I ordered 4 desserts at a time. I said, yeah, you might have a problem. And I for whatever reason on vacation, like calories don't count. So I say to myself, like, well, at least I ordered a fruit plate. But the 3 chocolate cakes with different names but the same batter, like, does it really matter? Yeah, cavities suck, man. Being sober, look at that. Another minute. So I said that I got my first cavity at 29 years old, but that was just so you guys could understand me. So not only is my name a little wonky, but like it kind of helps me to do everything differently. So for example, like I make sure I put on mascara with my mouth closed because like who does that? Girls, you can't do it. I bet you can't do it. It's a discipline exercise. They tell you to build your discipline. You brush with your non-dominant hand and you put on mascara with your mouth closed. I can totally do it. Can you? Yeah, so I start putting on mascara with the opposite hand. Anything to build discipline. What else do I do that's so different? I can't show you that. That's a little X-rated. I tell you, it's a good time, though. They say white women are great in bed. Well, I'm surprised. Yeah. So another thing that makes me different is, like, now I kind of live like an old lady. You know, I spend my time going to Zumba. I eat a lot of cottage cheese. I go home to my cat, Charcuterie Ooterie, and we watch murder shows. We watch shows on HBO, like I Almost Got Away with It. You guys ever watch that? It's literally what the title says. They almost got away with it. Yeah, and almost is like years. Like they'll break out of the jail for years, and you find yourself rooting for the underdog. And you're like, this person murdered somebody with an axe, but they escaped the prison for 5 years. Like there has to be some sort of negotiation there, because if you could get out of a maximum security prison, you're just a little too great for this world. But those are just my thoughts. So, yeah, now I spend a lot of time reading my Bible. So I'm just going to bring up some Bible stuff. Woohoo, in a comedy club, right? For all the people that are drinking. So 1 Corinthians 7:9 says that it is better for someone to not get married. However, I'm paraphrasing. However, if you are burning with lust, you should go and get married, is what it says in there. And I was made to an R. Kelly CD. And then my mom doubled down on my freak and like went to an R. Kelly concert pregnant with me. So like even in the womb, like I just always been a nasty freak. And I just came out just looking for somebody to match my freak, and I'm like, Lord, I know this is not what you want for me. So where's my husband? It just doesn't make any sense, man. So I'm just waiting for this man to come so we could be nasty together. But 29 years later, here we are. But the thing is, I have really high standards, so I don't want, okay, don't judge me. Is a lab-grown steak still a steak? I need answers. Come on, y'all. Help me. I got a yes. I got a no. Come on. All right. Yeah. Show of hands for yes. Yeah. I can't see nothing past these lights. I got one. Show of hands for no. I know that's more than what I got in the front, right? So if a lab-grown steak is not a steak, then is a lab-grown diamond a diamond?
Uh-huh.
Exactly. So that's like literally my only standard is that like you love the Lord and you don't buy me a lab-grown diamond. Like it has to have a little blood in it. Somebody got to break a nail trying to get it. I don't want a microwave diamond. I don't think that that's right. Yeah, so they're giving me the light, but before I leave, I just want to put it out there. If you're just tired of the way that you're living, or you think a little bit that you might have a problem, if you don't, take a shot from me. But if you think just a little bit that you do, there are many ways to get help. You can follow me on Instagram at Dominé. It's spelled do mine 2.0. I have tons of resources for anyone that wants to get clean or just even wants to entertain a more sober lifestyle. My last joke of the night, I used to tell it when I used to get drunk and tell jokes. I was a little less Christian back then. A comedian said, they should write on your tombstone what you say the most. And I used to tell the joke and I would say, my tombstone would say, all y'all got me fucked up. And that still stands true, but I'm trying to go up to the Lord, so now I would say, Jesus Christ is King. Thank you.